this is Earthy Indigo, psychic, medium, intuitive, and tarot card reader. This is psychic reading for Vladimir Putin, which is the president of or leader of Russia. The strongest energies that come through is that there is everybody's fighting for a seat at the table, and it doesn't really feel like a fight, and it doesn't necessarily, but it feels like there's this scramble and this rush for a seat at the table, and Vladimir is not the one scrambling and fighting for a seat at the table. It already feels like he's sitting at the head of the table or close to the head of the table. It's an energy of him being confident in what his mission is, and it feels like there's at least 20 people from around the world, dominant leaders, some behind the scenes that the world and public doesn't know about, and then of course Vladimir being one that is a public figure. But feels like there are owners of companies, trillion-dollar, billion-dollar companies, owners, the shareholders, those energies, the Rothschilds, like that kind of energy is different, but from around the world, different countries, strong energy, of course, between European nations, Russia, Asian countries as well. It just feels like that's where the strongest energy is coming through. It feels like America is scrapping, trying to find or get a seat at this particular table. It feels like we're kind of, to the public, we know that it's a mess, and we know that we kind of slid down the scale power-wise. There isn't a dominance in America right now as it's being oh so great and oh so powerful, and it feels like the world, other world leaders and other world people that are in power, of course, sense and know this. They know this. It feels like these moves have been made for years to get us at this weak point that America is in right now. But it feels like the strongest energy is coming from Europe, is coming from Asia. These strong energies of this back and forth teeter-tottering. There was a strong energy coming from East Africa, and also some parts of it. It feels like around the coastal areas of Africa as well, like the East Coast, West Coast, Southern, and the Northeast. It's these energies that's rising up there as well. Strongest is Europe and Asia right now. No matter where you are in Asia, no matter what Asia, it just is strong energy coming from Asia, strong energy coming from Europe, strong energy coming from Northeast Africa and some of the West Coast. South Africa hasn't wanted to get in this too much, but it feels like there's a scramble for a seat at this particular table, and it feels like it's at least 20 very powerful people sitting at this table from around the world. Vladimir feels like he's close to the head of the table. There's an energy of Donald just still trying to get a seat. Still trying to get a seat. And it doesn't feel like they're going to secure him a seat at this table. Feels like he's in too much that, and there's not enough respect there for them to allow him. It's like you can sit at the kiddie table, or you can not even, matter of fact, you can stand outside the door and listen in and see what you can gather from outside of the door. Like, that's the kind of energy that comes through. It's like he's really scrapping, trying to please and amend. But the purpose of these coming together, and it feels like they're all going to get together again, like it feels like it's happening this month, or it has happened already, but it feels like the energy of the meeting and getting together is for this. If I heard new world order and I heard new money, it's around currency. It feels like the trickles and the whispers that we've been hearing throughout the years of them coming together and trying to push this united, like, not, don't get it twisted when I say united like United States, but this world funding currency, this new way of currency, this new way of spending and receiving money. It's a new way. It feels like it's all about this new way of currency. And it's not related to debit or credit cards. It's just a completely new way of spending and receiving money. It's like they're trying to merge all of the money together. It's this energy strongly around finances and currency, and they're trying to get it all figured out. And they want to know, they want to be ahead of the curve. It's like they're the ones pulling the strings, but they still want to make sure they're trying to secure their percentages. They're trying to secure how much money they're getting. They're trying to make sure that their pot is running over. It's all of their pots. So these people that said the table was already running over. It's about power. But the person with the biggest pot is the leader, and that's what they get off on. Power and being in control, and who has the last say so. But all of this meeting and this coming together, the energy that's around Vladimir right now is this currency, world money, it feels like world domination, but it feels like world money, world funds, an easier way to transfer currencies, to make it a streamline, where you go to one country and all of the money would be the same, or you go to this country, that country, this country, that country, and all of the money, it would be easier to convert money. It's an easier conversion of funds. That's what they're working on right now, because it makes so many things easier. And it's not about them making it easier for the people per se. It's just, it would make it easier for transfers of money to them, whether they're doing good work or bad work, whatever. It just makes the money get to them quicker and faster without all this red tape and hiding money in different countries and bank accounts and this and that. It just makes it all easier, and it feels like it makes, it's the energy of making certain things not as traceable, because the money would move so fast. And that's the energies that's coming through. And it feels like every country is scrambling to get a seat at the table, or to know what's going on and to be in the know about this. A lot of people that are in power, or it feels like there's anger coming and they're feeling left out. But the energy that's coming from Vladimir right now is, it feels like courage, confidence, cockiness. There's a cockiness that comes through. Not fear. There's not a lot of fear going on right now. It feels like before the election in America, there was apprehension. and there was a little uncertainty and fear. But now it's not. It's the energy of him, the energy that comes through. It's the energy of him feeling like it's in the bag. Like it's in the bag. Don't worry about it. It's in the bag. Like there's not stress coming from his energy. It's we got it in the bag. Now let's watch this thing unfold, kind of an energy. It feels like for a while there will be success. Like he will feel like he's feeling, there's an energy of him feeling like the success. He's been successful, rich, billionaire, not, in one of the most powerful men in the world. But it feels like he's really feeling successful now. Like he's really feeling in control now. He's really feeling powerful now. He's really feeling like I wish a blank would. Like that's the energy that comes through. It feels like regardless of the other nations going back and forth and falling and rising and falling and rising, it feels like he strengthened Russia. The energy comes through that he strengthened his core, and he's not too much worried about what everybody else is doing. But there's an energy of trying to make it more accessible, commerce, and importing things to Russia and getting more products there from other countries around the world, especially America. And that's been a main concern for years. Just having certain items there from around the world imported. That's on the agenda hugely. And that's one of the, besides this world order and this new world money currency, that's on the agenda between Vladimir and Donald. It's just getting products there, moving products, good products, bad. When I say good and bad, all of it, getting it there. And now that's gonna not be, like, it feels like that's not going to be a problem. Feels like Vladimir, regardless of the turmoil of the United States and around the world, that the election and the new presidency has called, it feels like Russia is still going to be okay after all the other shit hit the fan with everybody else. It feels like Vladimir has put them in a position to still stand strong while we're floundering in the US and other countries, kind of fall and dwindle based on what's going on in the US. It feels like Russia has been strengthened. The US, it feels like it's at a weak state, like it's sick. Like it's sick. Like it has a cold, a fever. That's the United States. A cold and a fever. Russia, right now, is drinking orange juice and protein shakes and working out and bulking up in the gym. That's the energy that comes through. Of course, in the States, it's going to be this uprising where the people against the government, and the people win ultimately. But there are going to be this turmoil in this time where we've fallen, and everybody in the country knows that it's fallen. We're not in a strong state at all. Russia has made itself a fist, an iron fist. They're an iron fist. Ultimately, it feels like even now to the next up 20 years, the things that Vladimir has done for years to come has made it better for his country. Those are the energies that are coming through. That they're secure, they're fine. It feels like up to 20 years and beyond, he's made it so that things are going to be consistently growing and getting better as far as with commerce, trade, and products imported into Russia. Now, that's the energies that come through. It feels like even the people there will start to be lighter and in a better mood because they're able to have access to things that they haven't had access to. And it's really rich people. Of course, they have a rich, it's a rich class in Russia too, you know, but it feels like whatever the working class is, or whatever the people, there's rich and there's poor, and it feels like the poor and the middle, or whoever. I don't believe Russia has a middle class, but the energy is whoever's at the bottom of the totem pole who wasn't getting stuff before, it feels like they're able to get more imported in, access to more things. That's the energies that come through. He strengthened his country, while on the other hand, the United States is floundering. We have a thermometer in our mouth. That's the energies that are coming through. It feels like, of course, still in the States, the people will uprise. That's the energies. The people will go against what the system is and will not allow the system to continue to bully the people. It's like you keep getting picked on every day, keep getting picked on every day. Eventually you explode and blow back. And that's what's happening in the States, and that's what will happen. The people against the establishment. But Vladimir locked his people down and manipulated. It feels like there's an energy of manipulation with the United States, with Trump. Feels like this was over 15 years in the making. And now it feels like we're right in the pocket, right in the palm of his hand. But it feels like most of all of this was done for importing of products, making things comfortable there, all about building structure in his homeland, importing more products comfortable for the people, and sitting at the head of the table, or close to the head of the table, regarding this new currency that's going to be coming in, which is an easier transfer and moving money faster. And he's going to be at the head of the table, which puts him in a position of being the most powerful man in the world, which he already is on the top of the list. It's just that the world doesn't, want to acknowledge that, but it's true. He's one of the most powerful men in the world. And being at the head of the table with this new currency where money moves quicker between countries, fast. It feels like money moves fast. It's not going through this transfer. It's not going through currency exchange. It feels like it's something that moves money quick in your pocket fast. It feels like he's going to be at the head of the table regarding that. And everybody else is going to have to come to him bargaining and trying to figure out where do we fit. And that's what's going on right now. And it feels like they met this. It feels like there's been an energy, or they met this month or are meeting soon about it. It's like they're really rolling this thing out. It feels like it puts the world the rest of the world in a scary place, or a crippling place to have to bow down. But then I guess that's how the rest of the world may have been feeling towards America for years. But that is the energies that come through. It feels like Vladimir set his country up for a locked-in security. Whereas now everybody's figuring out, how did he manipulate it all, and we didn't see this coming. And it feels like he's been working and planning on this and doing this and making deals and making moves for the last 15 years. And now we're here. Ultimately, it feels like in the States, though, the people will rise against the establishment and just say, we're not taking it anymore. But that will be a struggle, and lots of struggle after that, just to rebuild and get the country to a state of semi-normalcy. But those are the energies that came through surrounding Vladimir Putin now. I'm Earthy Indigo, psychic, medium, intuitive, and tarot card reader. Click on the link in the description to book a reading. Remember, it's 3 questions for $10. I'm Earthy Indigo, and I love to read for you. Bye.